Let's do and talk about, because, you know, I'd do anything for him at this point because he's so good. Dominik Szoboszlai. I have at times this season been a little bit critical of Dom. I don't think he scored enough goals for us. I think his decision making in the final third has not been great. That was not the case at all today. Not only does he score, but he makes one as well. He was brilliant. That was the Dom Szoboszlai performance that I think he's been, and I think he's had a couple along those lines in the last few weeks, but this one is the best Dom Szoboszlai we've seen.
This is the new benchmark for me. It's like, you're right, that encapsulates the best of your game.
Yeah.
The intensity, the high press, the way you did. I think Steve mentioned in the build-up, you know, he's the best person at doing that for Liverpool. He ran his absolute socks off today and just didn't stop. He ran Spurs into the ground at times. And when you kind of look at their equivalent in Maddison and for what he does in terms of his quality, and, you know, you give him a chance and he'll find the bottom net or whatever it is, that desire, that hunger, and that competitive is lacking.
I think that's really interesting. That because you're right, Maddison's a quality footballer, but actually he is a very what you would describe as a 10.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to get stuck in. He wants the game to go his way.
Yeah.
And I think Szoboszlai wants the game to go his way, but he's willing to go make it happen. And so he's actually, if you combine the best of Kulusevski and Maddison, but actually added probably another yard of pace on top, then that's what you've got in Szoboszlai. And I think the timing of his rise to form is probably linked to this, but also it's perfect timing to do it. Harvey Elliott's back now. Curtis Jones has found himself regularly in the side. McAllister's performing well. We've got options is what I'm driving at. There's 2 or 3 lads there. McAllister, Jones and Elliott would all reasonably like to play in his position. And so, you know, and all of them are a goal threat as well. Mm-hmm. And Szoboszlai, just this last couple of weeks, I've really seen, it's like he's come alive. It's like he's trusting himself more. It's like he's going to reach to the depths and finding, he's not actually scraping the barrel. He's found a rich vein of like energy and power inside him as well. I thought he was terrific tonight. Terrific.
Honestly, for me, especially because that's what I love to see in that type of performance from him in terms of that midfield, being a midfielder, being a threat. I like the fact that Liverpool have done so well traditionally with a functioning midfield that functions at a very high level, because it's a platform for all the other positions to really excel. But you want to have a midfield maestro as well. You want to have someone who just oozes confidence, oozes class in midfield, and we've got that in, obviously, Gravenberch into the end, but you don't expect that 20-30 yards further up the pitch, because you want him to protect your back four, and that's his job. You like what McAllister does as well, because, you know, it's that class, it's that craftsmanship on the ball and all those things. But Szoboszlai being that, again, I referred to it a lot last season, early parts, was the heartbeat of that midfield. And today it was that pumping, it was that energy, and again it was that little bit of power. But again, for me, the decision making is now starting to click in with them as well. There was a couple of moments, as you said, he gets an assist in there as well, and for the fact that he's able to start making the better decisions and he's not panicking and he's not fluffing his lines, it just feels as though he's give himself a good talking to. He's looked at himself in the mirror and probably said, look, I need to fix up in a little way here, a little way there. Lads are coming back. I'm not being the one that gets hooked as a result of this.
It was the right decision for that game. And I think the thing that really showcased it to me is actually his goal, because he does target man things there. Like Trent empties it, and he doesn't empty it in like a way that we've seen from certain footballers. It's a cultured empty. He knows what he's going for, and he knows Szoboszlai is out. Yeah. And what another thing I think he's lacked for a tall lad, I don't think he's physical enough sometimes. I don't think he's aerially dominant enough. I think you can level this at Gakpo sometimes. I think they were both a little bit too passive. They're both units and they need to conduct themselves as such. So actually what I saw from Szoboszlai, like getting up and winning his flick on like that, like again, I've said at times he's a bit Jamie Redknapp at times, and bear in mind I thought Jamie Redknapp was a fabulous footballer. He was Beckham before anyone had even heard of Beckham in terms of his skill on the ball, but the one thing he was at times was a little lightweight, and I don't think you can afford to be lightweight in a Liverpool midfield these days, because you're right, it used to be functional. Now we require function and form, and he has got the ability to do both. But I think the function comes secondarily to him. So actually, getting up, win that. It sounds stupid. I can't think of a better comparison, but like the best of Maro and Fellaini used to do that a bit, where he would do that sort of target man thing from a 10 position, and it really gives you a way to get up the pitch really well. But that's, I mean, people remember Fellaini from Man United when he was crap, but at Everton he was really, really good. But then what he does is, it's not job done. Like Andy Carroll would flick that on and go,
You'd be watching.
Look at that, sensational. He's like,
that.
now I want a goal here. Yeah. And actually then it's the intelligence of Mo to see him as a little look, sees the run, gets himself in, brilliant finish, and he deserved it. I thought it capped his performance fantastically. And then actually the assist for Mo is the cherry on top, because he could just score. He's there, but actually the fact that he's like, no, we're flowing here, we're flying, I'm just going to cut this back, and Mo's going to have an empty net to knock it into.
And that's what you want. And, you know, those easy numbers, easy wins, they're like, don't make it more difficult for yourself than it needs to be. And I just thought as a whole today, I think Liverpool were very much up for that. Like, let's make this, again, we was getting in at will, we'll score at will, we'll do what we want when we want type of vibes. But it almost just felt like everything good was coming through what he was giving us the platform to do for large parts. And I really enjoyed his performance. For me, I would argue a case for him to be my man of the match as well, if I'm being completely honest with you.
Yeah, I think he was a very, very strong contender for it. Let's have a little look at what his numbers were in terms of his ratings across the other websites. So SofaScore had him as an 8.2, Who Scored 8.7, and FOTMob was an 8.8. Sensational from Dom. And bear in mind, he picks up a yellow card, which might actually take a little bit of a shine off of his ratings as well for all that, which is mad when you consider some of the tackles that Spurs
got away with
nothing for, by the way, most of them on Ryan Gravenberch. I'm made up for Dom. Was he your man of the match? Let us know. I think he's a very, very, very strong shout for it.